You may remember last fall, President Obama decided to do something that lots of other presidents had done before him. He gave a short speech to the country's school kids at the start of the academic year. The head of the Republican Party in Florida, a man named Jim Greer, issued a statement saying that he was appalled that President Obama would be spreading his lies and socialist ideology to school children. Others chimed in. He kicked off a little firestorm in the media.
He joins us right now. Mr. Greer, thanks for coming on. You put out a pretty strong statement the other day. You said the president, you referred to him as the Pied Piper Obama. Pied Piper is a guy who took children away and they were never seen again. Is that what you think? I mean, really?
Well, I don't want him to take children away, but I don't want him to take their minds away either to push his agenda.
When the president finally gave his speech, what was his socialist message for the nation's school children? Put down the video games, read books, come to class ready to work hard.
And along those lines, by the way, I hope all of you are washing your hands a lot and that you stay home from school when you don't feel well so we can keep people from getting the flu this fall and winter.
After the speech, the controversy pretty much vanished overnight. And for most of us, that's the last we heard of Jim Greer, the guy who led the complaining. But in the last year, a lot has changed for Jim Greer.
James A. Greer has been charged with 6 felony counts.
He's no longer the chairman of the Florida Republican Party. He's currently facing a half-dozen felony counts for things like money laundering and theft. And 2 weeks ago, Greer did something kind of remarkable. With the school year starting again, all of a sudden he essentially came out of hiding to send a single message, a text message.
It was September 14th, actually. Greer sent a text message to reporters in Florida.
A couple days ago, I sat down with one of the reporters who first wrote about the story, Dave Weigel, who's a political reporter for Slate.
And the text message just said that, well, the president's going to be giving another speech, and just for the record, I apologize for making such a big deal about the last one. My take on that was, wow, he admitted it. This was somebody being honest about the fact that this was not really something he had been worried about at the time. It was a pander to get people panicked to basically support the Republican Party. He just wanted, for whatever reason, to have a mea culpa. And you never really get a mea culpa after people have started a frenzy about something they know was not really a problem.
That's especially true today, Weigel says, when manufactured outrage has become such a big part of our politics.
Oh, this happens about once a week now. You can't quite set your watch to it, but you can expect on a Monday that by Friday, something that wasn't actually a huge problem for some politician or political figure is going to be blown up into a huge problem. They're going to benefit. We're going to have to analyze it.
Both parties do this, but Weigel says it's a much bigger part of Republican political style right now. Frankly, Republicans are just a lot better at it.
I mean, it's actually been part of Democrats' strategy this year that's been pretty unsuccessful, is they continually think they're going to get sympathy from their base if Republicans are seen to be overly mean and blocking something in the Senate. That hasn't worked. So the Democrats try to rouse the troops with outrage over Republicans saying no, and it doesn't seem to change the political equation very much at all. The Republicans, meanwhile, are not only better at attacking. When they're attacked, they do a better job flipping the script and turning the story into outrage over the unfairness of how they were attacked, turning that into support and money. The example of this on all our TVs this week, of course, is Delaware senatorial candidate Christine O'Donnell. Even before the statements that she made about dabbling in witchcraft came to light, she was questioned about how she handled campaign finances, about people who didn't get paid, about a campaign worker who said that O'Donnell used contributions to cover rent and personal expenses. We know, for example, in this campaign, her mother got a $3,000 check, and no one can really explain that. But so if you look at this on paper and you analyze it like you analyze any story of fiscal incompetence, you wouldn't think she could turn this to her advantage. She did turn to her advantage. She won the primary, and she raised, in the first 5 days after it, about $2 million. And that, according to her and the campaign and people around her, is in large part a response to the way the media was covering her finances, the way the media was covering her career as a TV pundit.
What are we to make of the attacks against you?
Well, watch this. Watch how this campaign unfolds. They started their ads this week, and they're attacking me personally. They're not attacking where I stand on stimulus. They're not attacking where I stand on extending, if not making permanent, the Bush tax cuts. They're not attacking me on my positions. They're trying to attack me.
She was able to turn this back into proof that the media
was trying to tear her down. It was not an outrage that she said it. It was an outrage that this was being brought up, drudged up against her. The way O'Donnell put it was that this is attack on me, but, and she said this, her supporters also said this more explicitly, it's attack on people who believe the way I believe. This is an attack on Christianity. It's an attack on our values. And the money she raised off that, which, $2 million is actually 10,000% of what she had in her campaign fund before the campaign heated up at the end of August.
Before the attacks.
Before the attacks, she had $20,000 roundabout, and then she got $2 million after this. The way she pivoted is just a great textbook example.